Welcome back everybody, it's Sarah Godfrey here from Printmaking Today, continuing my journey with my A4 piece of lino in my attempt to cut and cut the lino until there's nothing left. So here's my lino that's been cut a lot. Now I have introduced the lady with the bird on her head and the bird. Now I'm going to attempt to cut away the lino even further and introduce flowers, carving away, like I say, until there's nothing left of it. The carving part I've done on a time-lapse video, which is rather faster than I imagined, but anyway, you get the idea and you don't have to wait around for me to carve every little mark. Enjoy! I had no preconceived idea on what this would be like. I'm just purely responding to the marks that's already been cut into the lino and just seeing what happens. As I carved more out, I tended to think of what was originally the trunk of the tree being almost like the stem of the flowers coming out of the ground and up around the bird. I am enjoying this process and I'm very interested to see how it prints because there is now such a difference between the higher marks on the lino and the deeply cut marks almost back through to the backing. So we'll have to see how that prints. So here's the lino now. I finally cut it to give you a chance to look at it in some slow motion. I'm quite liking the marks on it like that. I quite like the effect and the lino as it is. I'm not sure if the print will live up to the what I'm expecting, but it'll be interesting to see. So here it is now, my lino cut. Now it's inked up. I've been putting the ink on in quite a painterly fashion, just basically getting it on my finger and rubbing it down deep into the cuts and also wiping it onto the surface. So hopefully I get one colour deep in the marks and other colours on the top. I'm not sure how these will print because of the, like I say, the variation in the depth of the lino. It'll be interesting to see what happens. So here it is, printing my first colour print of this image. I've used Fabriano paper, 250 grams. I've soaked it for a while, so I've got a good pressure on the press. Let's have a look at what's happened. That's interesting. Yes. As you can see, the ink has printed okay all over, but in the middle, these middle areas where the lino hadn't been cut quite so much and it was still thick, there is significant bleeding of the colours really. And in these areas that were cut a lot, almost through to the backing, not quite as much of the image has come through as I liked, but there is that contrast, which is interesting. I think there's something to be worked on there. I've decided to do another print now. This is much thicker paper and I've soaked it for a lot longer time, so I'm hoping to extract some of those marks out of the plate a bit more. I've also used extra packing on those lower areas to try and, as I say, get more of that image out of the marks. So here it is, the second print on the thicker, wetter paper. It's definitely extracted more of the marks out of the plate in the shallow areas, which have got some really nice textures that have been picked up. The ink hasn't bled quite so much as it was on the one with a drier paper, slightly thinner, drier paper. Yeah, I'm liking this print. I like the contrast in it. And here you can see the difference in the. I'm afraid you can't see it very well, but you can see the difference in the sharper marks with the drier paper and with the more. This is a softer, thicker paper. The contrast you can see. Okay, thank you. I still feel as though this lino has a lot more to give in terms of marks. I'm going to push it to the max, keep cutting and cutting and see where it ends up. Thank you. See you soon. Bye.